From smoke figures wandering in abandoned buildings to creepy creatures detected by trail cameras, it's time to dive into the world of dark mysteries and creepy encounters. Let's begin. This video uploaded on YouTube had every single person confused when they watched it for the first time. A trail camera, which was set up to keep an eye on the wandering wildlife, detected something out of the ordinary. All of a sudden, in the middle of the day, a figure was recorded running through the forest. Even though the motion detection camera tried its best to follow the figure, it was too far for the camera to get a clear picture. In a matter of seconds, the figure was out of sight and we were left with questions about what we had seen. The video, when uploaded, got loads of mixed reactions from everyone. For some, it was a real Bigfoot trying to get away from the camera, but for others, it was nothing but a human walking around in the woods. But I do have to say that the figure looked like it was entirely covered in brown hair, which makes me lean towards the idea that this was the real deal. Let me know what you guys think about it. I have been only a few times out to fish, so I can't exactly call myself an expert, but I am pretty sure what you are about to watch is not common. This guy managed to capture on film a whole bunch of fish just standing still in a river. I am not exactly sure what is going on. They seem to get ready for something, although I am not sure what. Is there anyone more knowledgeable on fishing and fish behavior? Why are they just standing still in such shallow waters? Recorded a couple of years ago, this clip looks like it came straight out of a scary movie. The man was on a walk late at night when he saw someone standing completely still ahead. The guy decided to move forward while recording the whole scene, but his soul left his body when he came mere inches away from the woman. Her face was completely covered in darkness, and she stood still, yet with her head slightly tilted. Even though her face wasn't visible, the man could sense her stare on him. Scared, he ran as fast as he could. After a few moments, as he turned back to see if the woman was still there, he found nothing. It looked like no one was there in the first place. The video lasted for a minute, during which he kept looking back, wondering where the creepy woman went. But he found nothing except for the creepy vibe the place was giving off. I have no idea if that was a real ghost or someone pranking the guy, but what I can tell is even if it was a prank, it can easily give a normal person a heart attack. Other than this, the authenticity of the clip remains shrouded in mystery still. Fishing has been an interesting sport for men for decades. While most of them just enjoy it as it is, some men make sure to try not so traditional ways and take things to extremes. The man in this clip tried something similar and ended up getting totally what he was asking for. As he saw plenty of fish swimming in shallow water, he laid down and tried to catch the fish with his bare hands. However, things took a turn when he got a bit more than he can chew.
Oh my God! Someone, Biggie, get out, Biggie! Go!
Ain't no way.
As the fish grabbed his arm, he screamed in pain. Not just him, but the people around him were also shocked. For as long as the video lasted, they were all just trying to help pull the fish out of the water and off his hand. I can't say why people would want to fish like this, but I guess everyone needs a hobby. The guy would have probably ended up with multiple scars after this adventure of his. This just reminds me not to attempt risky things when you are not an expert in such matters. I personally would never try this. A man who has dedicated his whole life to Bigfoot finally had his dream come true when one day, while on his daily routine in the woods, he actually recorded a massive Bigfoot. The creature was wandering aimlessly in the woods with no idea that a human nearby could be recording it. For a minute straight, he kept recording the creature while holding his breath so it does not turn into a chaotic situation. The creature had its face the other way, and it looked like it was going somewhere. According to the man, even after the creature was out of sight, he stayed in the snowy weather for an hour, just to make sure the creature did not come back. After he realized he was safe, he left with the footage, deciding he will share the clip with the world. For me, the clip looked very authentic, and there is a big chance that the creature that he witnessed with his own eyes was actually a Bigfoot. What do you think? The ocean has always been a mystery. Even till today, a huge part of it remains unexplored, which just adds to its mystery. What is it hiding? What kind of creatures lurk in those deep, dark regions? These are the questions which come to mind. And this clip might just give you a glimpse of what the ocean could be hiding. Recorded by a deep sea diver, this video shows a creepy white creature which looked like it was dead. But after some time, it started moving, and the movements were just like a snake. However, unlike a snake, it had no scaly skin or even eyes. The creature had a creepy white-grayish color, and it was trying to hide from the human all the time. What exactly was the thing? I have no idea since I am not underwater expert, but if you guys do know, let me know in the comments down below. A normal day can turn into the scariest situations in the blink of an eye. Something similar happened to this guy who was running in the middle of the woods with a camera in his hand. At first, there is nothing that can be seen chasing him, so we all get confused, thinking why the guy was even running. But as a few seconds pass, we witness the creepiest thing. A grayish figure appeared from behind the bushes and started following the guy. The whole situation got him even more scared and started running faster than even Usain Bolt. However, jokes aside, the situation looked pretty scary as the figure kept following him until the video ended. I don't know if the guy made it out unharmed, but I will assume he did, and that is how we got this video. What exactly was the creature? Was it a cryptid, an alien, or just a human in some costume? With the video ending so abruptly, nothing can be said for sure, and the video remains open for discussion. Uploaded by an anonymous guy on TikTok, this video gained thousands of views and hundreds of theories people came up with. Recorded late at night by a guy, the video shows a huge silhouette ascending a hill. According to the guy who recorded it, he heard weird sounds coming out of his house, so he went to check what was happening, and that is when he saw this creature from the window. What exactly was the thing? No one could tell. However, one thing was for sure. Whatever that was, it was better to just stay away from it. By the looks of it, it looked like a human, but it was too massive to be one, so either it was probably something out of this world, or the video was fake. Personally, I think there is a possibility that it could be altered just to get some attention on the internet, but I can be wrong. What do you think? You never know when a normal outing with the family turns into something scary. This is exactly what happened to this family who were busy taking pictures with the camera's flash on. However, what they did not know was that a creepy figure was lurking so close to them, waiting for the flash to turn off so it could run away. Its attempt of leaving the place without getting noticed failed when the flashlight turned back on, capturing it in the moment. If we slow the clip down a bit and focus on the creature, we can see it was crouching on the ground and had white, almost transparent skin. It was exactly like what a ghost would look like. But was it really a ghost? I can't say for sure. the question remains unanswered. Tornadoes are scary in themselves, and most of the time, people try to run away when they see one, just so they can assure the safety of their things and their lives. However, this one guy had a weird idea, so instead of turning his car back, he decided to drive through the tornado. Fortunately, he was skilled enough to pass through the danger zone without getting hit by the swirling storm. And while doing so, he got us a unique view of the tornado, which you might have never seen before. However, it is to be kept in mind that this kind of stunt doesn't always work, and one needs to be very careful in such situations. I urge you all who are watching, be mindful near tornadoes. I had friends who've witnessed their sheer power and barely came out alive. This clip was recorded years ago when a security camera ended up capturing a weird sight. It was an office whose staff kept complaining about weird things happening. However, no one listened to them and disregarded everything until this was captured on camera. A scary shadow appears on the screen for a moment and then disappears into the room. A part of the shadow could also be seen on the wall crawling upside down. Was it the ghost who has been annoying the humans all the time? Or was it something else? It could be smoke too. However, it is a little impossible for smoke to appear like that in the middle of a closed building with not even a soul around. The office staff was scared after watching this and started wondering if they should move to another place. If you got so far in the video, it means you're a dedicated viewer. Thank you. And if you subscribe and hit the bell button, I promise to keep posting these for you to enjoy. If you think you and your pets are safe, if they are wandering around your house, then think again. This clip will show you how dangerous it can be to leave the pets alone to go to even your own front yard, as potentially dangerous predators may be lurking nearby, without you knowing at all. When this little Yorkie was taking a walk in the front yard, the coyote spotted it, and in a minute the dog was in its mouth. The coyote could have just devoured it if the guy didn't come out of the house and scare the beast away. The poor little dog stumbled its way back into the house, all scared and traumatized for the rest of its life. I am glad this situation ended safely, but be careful if you have pets of your own when leaving them out. Things might not end the same way as in this video. Exploring abandoned places has never turned out to be good in years. Still, people don't ever stop doing that. Take these guys for instance. They decided to go to an abandoned building in the middle of the night and then got scared when they saw a ghost standing in their way.
Just go, take the right.
What else was going to happen anyways? The ghost had white overalls on and looked like a ghost of a patient. As the location of the places was never mentioned, we can make a guess that it was an abandoned hospital. The ghost could be a patient who died there. And the sight was scary enough to have the people run for their life a second after watching the figure standing in front of them. Was it a real ghost? Or was it a fake video just to get some attention on the internet? The conclusion is on you to make. While busy capturing his bunnies engaging in random activities, he heard something weird outside. Following the noise, he moved towards the window to see what it was, and to his shock, it resembled something straight out of a horror movie.
There's something like
crouching down there.
Yeah, could you get the light?
In the midst of darkness, a small ray of light fell on the figure apparently crouching down on the ground. However, as soon as the cryptid realized it had been seen by humans, it didn't waste a second before leaving the place. Despite being shocked to the core, the guy went out to get a clearer picture of the scary thing he had just seen. Unfortunately, the creepy figure was already gone for good before anyone could reach it. When looking back at the video, although blurry, I can see that this can't be an animal. The shape resembles a human, although it looks very strange and feral. This video sparked a clash online upon its posting, with many people claiming it as the ultimate evidence of cryptids being real, while others insisted it was a fake video. Regardless of which side you're on, witnessing such a thing in the middle of the night can be a downright scary experience, and there is no denying that. Feel free to draw your own conclusions about its authenticity. Woods have always been associated with mystery and darkness since mankind found its way on Earth, with creepy surroundings, wandering deadly predators, and the ominous darkness. However, this does not deter humans from visiting such potentially dangerous places. Take this guy, for instance. He decided to wander off looking for evidence of the unknown, and that is exactly what he found. Venturing deeper into the forest, he sensed a weird energy getting closer to him. Soon enough, he saw what exactly was making him feel that way. A scary figure, dressed as a normal human being, was standing a few feet away from him. The man pointed his flashlight towards the figure, but it did not move. It seemed as if the figure was just standing there, staring at the man, warning him to get away or face deadly consequences. Fortunately, the man heeded the warning and left the place before anything bad could happen.
I heard something here.
What's that?
Go.
Uploaded anonymously, the video remains a mystery yet to be solved. In my opinion, it could be someone's hanging clothes, but there was a head attached to it, so the chances of it being a ghost are very high. This video was found on a camera discovered in the Scottish woodland a couple of years ago. The camera had only a small clip of two bikers riding around the woods. During the ride, the camera turned towards a scary figure standing right beside them. The bikers paused for a second, looked at each other, before deciding to ride away from the place, as that creepy figure was not something they expected in normal circumstances. The figure had a white face and was completely covered in black overalls. It looked creepy enough to scare even the bravest man. Whether that was just a prop put in the forest to give a scare, I can hear something like a scream in the recording as well. Either way, I am glad they decided to pedal away and not investigate. What happens in abandoned buildings, especially when the buildings were once used for all holy purposes, like churches? This clip might give you a glimpse into the world of the abandoned and the paranormal. Recorded by a security camera placed inside the church, this clip appeared to be very normal at first. There was not a single soul in sight, but then something weird happened. A shadow figure appeared at the backside near the windows. It looked like the shadow of a bent man with a cloth on him, walking around. Everything returned to normal, only for the shadow to appear again, but this time slightly at the front near the benches. The possibility of a human being there is very low, so anyone who saw the clip quickly determined that it was a ghost. Or is there more to this clip that we don't know about? This video was uploaded on the internet in 2019, and when it hit the internet, it shocked everyone who saw it. To some, it might look like a normal clip of a family enjoying some fun time at night. However, it looks all fun and games, until you focus on the background, where a creepy whitish figure appears to be lurking. The humanoid figure just stayed hidden in the darkness, away from the humans, creepily stalking them all the time. He stood afar, then got a little closer, then went back, as if trying to take a better look at the men and the kid enjoying the swing. But what makes the whole clip a lot scarier is the part where the humans did not even sense the presence of the figure near them. Is it that the camera only could capture it, and it wasn't visible to the naked eye? Is it a cryptid, a skinwalker, or something else? The mystery remains unsolved still. They say curiosity kills the cat, but it can also be dangerous for humans, especially when they venture deep into the woods, alone and in the middle of the night. Take this lady, for instance. She went into the woods with the hope of finding something unusual, and that's exactly what happened. Initially, we could only see broken branches, the ground, and the surrounding. However, as she moved forward and started looking around, the camera focused on a scary creature sitting on the ground right in front of her. At first, she couldn't see the figure, but as soon as she did, it ran away and disappeared into the darkness, leaving the lady with no choice but to run for her life. She didn't know what the thing was or if it was planning to attack, so she chose the safe option of retreating back to her cabin.
What is that? Oh my God.
Taking a closer look at the figure, it had a weird black appearance and seemed to be crawling on the ground until the lady focused the flashlight on it. Could it be someone playing a prank on the lady? Or are there more secrets hiding in the woods than we know? Do let me know what you think. This clip was recorded by a man who kept hearing scary voices coming from his farm every night when he went to sleep. According to him, he tried looking for a reason, but couldn't find anything until one night when he gathered all the courage he had and went to check outside. To his surprise, he caught the culprit in the act. However, the whole scene must have sent shivers down his spine. A creepy, glowing figure was standing by the tree, staring at the man. Scared and hesitant, the man didn't try to get too close but kept pointing the flashlight towards it, hoping to scare the figure away somehow. For a minute straight, the glowing figure just stood there motionless, and the man kept a safe distance to avoid it. The video ended with the figure still in sight, and according to the man, it stood there for the whole night, but in the morning there was nothing anymore. It looks like it could be a prank. However, considering the situation and the fact it stood for hours there, nothing can be said for sure. Nature works in the weirdest ways. Some days are the most peaceful and calming, while others cause disasters no one ever saw coming. But there are times when nature shows its scary side, especially with animals. Take this clip, for instance. It shows a cow born in India. Unlike most cows, this calf was different. It had 2 heads. This happened due to some genetic mutation, and calves born with the same condition generally live no longer than a couple of days. This one, however, has lived for some good days and is still going. Although I am sad it has to endure this abnormality, I hope the calf will not suffer through it. There are times when the deadliest predators can learn a lesson from the smallest animals they won't even consider in normal circumstances. Take this bear's example. It was all set to attack and make a nice snack out of the goats, so it started moving towards them. However, what the bear didn't know was that there was a hero pig watching its every move and waiting for the right time to attack and prevent the bear's motives. The pig stood between the bear and the goats and tried its best. The bear initially stared at the pig, but as soon as the pig struck, the bear was left with no option but to move back and run for its life. For the rest of the video, the bear sat at a safe distance, looking at the pig, pondering what it did to deserve this kind of embarrassment. Maybe I should get a pig to defend my cabin instead of a dog. They seem to know how to handle bears. This woman heard weird noises coming from her garden in the middle of the night, so she went to check what was causing it. All scared, she tried looking through the door, deciding not to go out. What she saw was scary enough to give someone nightmares for weeks. At first, the gate kept moving on its own, and the trees and the background indicated there was no wind at all. But how exactly was the gate moving on its own? The girl got pretty scared, but then she tried looking around to see if there was anything else. On the right side, not too far from the gate, she saw a scary figure standing. Since she didn't have a flashlight, she went back to get one. After she came back and looked again in the garden, there was no one. Only a cat sat there, looking around. The figure had disappeared, and the door had stopped moving. But then suddenly, she hears a loud knock on her door, and the video ends right there. Did something bad happen, or was it just a prank played by someone? I am not sure exactly what was going on there. Maybe the cat we saw was a skinwalker who is stalking this family. What do you think? This clip was uploaded on TikTok a couple of months ago, where a creepy figure was recorded wandering around in a weird way. It looked as if a man had wrapped himself completely in a white sheet and was trying to pull some weird prank on others. People saw the guy and were too scared to get too close to him, thinking he could be a madman. Therefore, in the clip, we can see flashlights being used. The authorities were informed, but were still on their way. The man or the figure at first was walking around, but soon just sat on the ground and stopped moving at all. The video ended there, so I can't say if the man was caught or if it was actually something more creepy at hand. Adventures can turn into nightmares and scary close calls, with no one even suspecting such things. Take these cyclists, for instance. They were enjoying their ride through the tunnel until they realized they had messed up badly. As they entered the tunnel, it took them a few seconds to realize that there was a train coming straight towards them.
Come on, Sadie.
Thankfully, they took a U-turn and were out of the tunnel before the train could even touch them. That might be the scariest moment of their lives ever, but luck was on their side that day, so they made it out alive. I personally would be very anxious about going in a tunnel where there is no room to maneuver, and instead would look for alternative routes. If you got so far in the video, it means you're a dedicated viewer. Thank you. And if you subscribe and hit the bell button, I promise to keep posting these for you to enjoy. A homeless man was living in his truck, and the night this clip was recorded, he had parked the truck near the woods and was about to sleep when this happened. First, he heard some noises, and then a creature started peeking into the truck. The creature had the creepiest eyes I had ever seen, looking straight out of a horror movie. And it didn't end there. After taking a peek inside the vehicle, the creature started smashing and hitting the truck. According to the man, there was not only one, but a lot more of the same creatures. What exactly were those? I tend to say that it looks like a mountain lion, but considering the man said there were multiple creatures howling around, I can't say for sure. Mountain lions are not known to hunt in packs. What do you think was going on here? Snakes look dangerous already, but what happens when you are crossing the river and come across a massive snake? This is exactly what happened to this guy when he witnessed a huge snake crossing the river with his own eyes. The snake was more focused on minding its own business than attacking and devouring him. If it were in that mood, nothing would have saved him, especially considering the distance he had maintained between himself and the snake. The clip started off as a very usual one, showing someone with a camera recording his surroundings. As the guy moved forward, we saw trees and branches here and there, but everything appeared to be very normal until the camera focused on the creepy face hiding in the tree. It took only a second for the guy to realize he was in a very dangerous place, so he moved back and ran for his life. That 1 second and that one glimpse of the creature were enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. It looked like a creature straight out of hell. I'm not sure if this is a prop put there by someone with a twisted sense of humor, or if there is anything else to the whole situation. Late night driving can be fun until you come across a figure wearing white overalls crossing the road right in front of your car. In that case, the fun drive could turn into a fright, especially if you decide to follow the figure. Thankfully, these guys did not and backed off the car as soon as the figure appeared in front of their eyes. It was only for a few seconds, but that made them realize it was better to go back to where they were coming from and never return to this place at night. I know chances are very high that it was just a madman or someone playing a prank, but I would still choose the safe option of going back and find an alternative road. This clip was recorded by a girl who was out with her family camping in the woods. Soon enough, she decided to wander there, leaving her family behind and venturing deep into the woods to explore. At first, it was normal with nothing but gigantic trees and bushes everywhere, but it did not take her long to spot something in a far distance that looked like a huge animal hiding. She got scared. However, she kept recording whatever she was seeing. Although very blurry, we can clearly see it resembles the perfect description of Bigfoot. But what is amazing from other videos capturing Bigfoot is that we can actually see the feet. The creature, upon moving its leg, reveals what looks like to be a white foot, which is quite interesting if we consider it to be a Bigfoot. As the video was uploaded on YouTube, everyone had mixed reactions. To some, it was a real Bigfoot, and for others, it was someone with a suit on. I will leave it up to you to decide which is the case. A person who was troubled by unsettling incidents in his kitchen decided to install a security camera to see just what exactly is going on. But what the camera captured made the owner reconsider the idea of keep staying in that house. In the hours of the night, while the owner left the lights on in the kitchen, the footage revealed something perplexing. The lights suddenly went off, and an unidentified entity could be seen appearing in the kitchen and heading into the hallway. The owner says they didn't even realize this happened while they were inside the house. They found out only later when they reviewed the recording, and now are unsure about what they should do next. The whole footage was eerie, and the identity of the mysterious person walking in their house remained unknown. Was it a lost soul that lived and died in that house? What do you think? I personally would consider moving to a friend for at least a few days after seeing that footage. Forests are the places where many inexplicable phenomena occur that defy explanation. Numerous unknown beings lurk in these woods, particularly in the dense and dangerous Siberian forests. Despite the dangers, some adventurers love to explore these forests. This footage was recorded by one such explorer who encountered something bewildering. Moving among the trees, he came across an unsettling scene. While the footage doesn't offer a clear view, it is evident that the creature had black fur. But we can't say for sure, as many have said, that it is footage of the legendary Bigfoot. Although I have seen clips of them resting between trees, this might as well be a black bear. What do you think? Am I wrong? Angling is the most common and straightforward form of fishing. In this method, a fishing line is attached to a hook, with bait added to attract fish. Anglers cast or release this setup into the water. The bait entices fish to bite and enables the angler to catch them. However, angling isn't ideal for capturing large fish. So what if a colossal fish attempts to bite the bait and get caught? In such a scene, retrieving the fish using only the fishing line becomes challenging. Yet, these two friends possess exceptional fishing skills. Faced with a massive fish caught in a situation where the fishing line alone won't suffice, one of them decides to jump into the water to extract the fish. Despite their efforts, the fish proves to be so massive that even diving into the water doesn't enable them to bring it out successfully. I have to applaud the bravery of this guy who jumped into the water with such large fish nearby. Traveling through a dense and dangerous forest in a vehicle may create a sense of safety because you have the ability to speed away from potential dangers. But what if the danger becomes an uninvited passenger? In this video, a person was driving through a breathtaking but dangerous forest. Suddenly, a massive anaconda leaped onto the car's bonnet out of nowhere. The anacondas are known as dangerous snakes, but the driver remained unfazed as he pulled up the car mirrors for safety. The anaconda's leap onto the vehicle seemed like a mistake, as it appeared the snake wanted to dismount but struggled to do so. In my opinion, the snake might have traveled a considerable distance from its original location. I hope everyone got out of this sticky situation unharmed. The forest is the home of most animals, and when humans enter the forest, sometimes the creatures dislike having their atmosphere disturbed. And I urge you all to be very careful where you decide to go have fun. Two friends decided to go snowboarding in the forest, which had turned into a beautiful snowboarding spot. After heavy snowfall, one of them led the way with a camera mounted on their head to record their adventure, while the other followed behind. However, their adventure disturbed a bear who happened to be residing inside a burrow beneath the tree they are passing. The bear, anxious due to all the commotion, decided to climb into the tree, perhaps trying to flee from what he perceived as danger. It climbed up the tree, and only at that moment do these guys finally notice it.
Oh, wait, what is that? Yeah, holy side of the tree right now.
I have to say that these guys are lucky. If the bear indeed felt in danger, they are lucky it decided to flee. Imagine if it instead decided to attack them. Taking off the snowboard equipment takes time they would not have had in a bear attack. So here is my advice. Respect their territory to avoid posing a threat to them. If they feel threatened, they may react violently. In the woods, some particularly rare creatures only emerge at night. This footage was recorded by the dash cam of a person crossing the woods on an unpaved road. The road was rarely used at night since there was no population around, and people avoided using it at night due to potential danger. However, this person had to choose this road for some reason to travel at night. His dashcam captured an unsettling and unknown creature resting in the middle of the road. This unexplainable creature didn't resemble any known creatures. The person driving the vehicle was so terrified that he decided to stop his vehicle. Perhaps he was contemplating whether to cross the creature or not. He might have been afraid that if he approached the unexplainable creature, it might not react positively. Or perhaps he was trying to understand it and document it. I have no idea what this can be, an unknown cryptid or some clever prank. What do you think? If you are enjoying this so far, consider subscribing. It really helps me keep this channel going. Snowy forests are always less explored, as it is difficult to navigate the forest. A person interested in documenting the mysteries of a snowy forest decided to install a trail camera, and this unexplainable footage left him scratching his head. In this footage, an unknown creature can be seen moving between the trees. It was really big, but challenging to identify, as its entire body wasn't clearly visible. What we only see is the movement between the trees. A moving shadow appears among the trees, but before we can fathom it, the footage abruptly ends. I am again not sure whether this is a Bigfoot's resting place or just a bear taking a nap. What do you think? It does seem to have a somewhat humanoid shape, although I am disappointed the owner did not include in their upload more footage time. The Manhattan Monster is a strange creature with a terrifying face, snarling snout, and 5 toes on each foot. This creature is popular in folklore and numerous individuals have reported seeing them. In 2013, this creature washed up under the Brooklyn Bridge and disturbed many who've seen it. Denise Ginley, an amateur photographer, took pictures of the odd pink carcass while strolling along the East River. The unsettling images sparked conspiracy theories, suggesting it might be a waterlogged rodent, a cooked pig, a swollen dog, or something more sinister. Although the New York Parks Department dismissed it as a mere swine, a closer look revealed hands and feet that seemed almost human, unlike a pig's hooves. Denise Ginley disagreed with the Parks Department, pointing out the absence of a cloven hoof and the presence of 5 digits close together. Theories circulated that the creature could be a raccoon or giant rodent, while others speculated a connection to the mysterious Montauk Monster from 2008. Personally, I know there are many things the government keeps secret from us. I wonder if this might be one of them. Goglins are well known and feared forest creatures in folklore, and are often associated with terror. This video captures a small creature bearing resemblance to goblins. A security camera installed in front of a building recorded the sudden appearance of this creature as it crawled on the ground. Moving towards a spot with a poster, the creature aggressively tore it into pieces. After some time, the creature returned in the same direction, remaining on the ground for a while. It then looked up at the security camera, displaying eerie behavior. There is a whole world that remains hidden from our eyes. But it appears that sometimes the hidden forces of the universe reveal themselves to us, and whenever we witness them, we are left with questions that beg for answers. For example, at this footage, someone was driving through a forest, and upon coming closer to a few houses, his buddy who was recording spots a weird shadow-like person crossing the street. The camera is turned towards the figure, and we can see clearly the shadow from closer. At first, I thought it might be a camera glitch, but the glitch looks way too consistent if it is one. Was it some sort of ghost or something more sinister? Before debating the nature of this phenomenon, I believe that we must be thankful that the person driving the vehicle remained safe. Crocodiles are animals that live most of the time in water. However, sometimes they do decide to go for a walk on the land. This footage shows just that, a crocodile taking a walk around a populated neighborhood. This giant creature is not like any other ordinary crocodile. He seems to confidently walk around as if he owns the place. But suddenly, something happens that no one expected. The crocodile tries to climb up the building. I don't know about you, but this is a first for me. I have never seen a crocodile decide to try to climb up a building. I am wondering if his health is fine. I know there are some parasites that make animals do weird and dangerous things. We can only hope that the crocodile remains safe and healthy. I believe that it was necessary to call the authorities to handle the situation, and I hope the girl recording the footage did so. Lions are among the dangerous animals that do not hesitate to attack humans. These animals tend to come outside at night, as seen in footage circulating on the internet where people driving on roads passing through these forests recorded encounters with the animals. This footage was recorded by 2 individuals driving through the woods and were shocked to be met by this sight. Initially, 2 lions emerged from the woods and crossed the road to enter another part of the woods. The individuals thought these 2 lions were the only ones, so they stopped their vehicle to let them cross before continuing their drive. To their surprise, 2 more lions emerged after a while and crossed the road. Stunned, they thought that was the end, but to make matters worse, even more proudly emerged and crossed the roads. Although I have to say that I think the last ones were the cubs, following the bigger ones for safety. Such situations must be very dangerous. I have seen videos of people driving on such roads on bikes. Big homes with many empty rooms, where fewer people live, can be the best places for ghosts to reside. A person who was the only inhabitant of this massive house noticed some creepy movement outside his room. He decided to document this thing that often disturbed him at night, so he turned on his camera. At first, he did not notice anything, but when he opened the door to the hallway, he noticed a small creature sitting near the wall. He zoomed in a bit, but we can't make out anything yet. After capturing it for a while, he closed the door, but turned and opened it again. The creature was now standing in front of him, eerily looking at him. I believe it looks like the spirit of a child, looking eerily angry. He was left with a number of questions and contemplating his own safety. Was this house inhabited by ghosts? Or something more sinister? What do you think? If you got so far in the video, it means you're a dedicated viewer. Thank you. And if you subscribe and hit the bell button, I promise to keep posting these for you to enjoy. Those who venture into the forest are often met with something that leaves them amazed. However, only a few are lucky enough to witness a creature like Bigfoot with their own eyes. This person, on an adventure in the woods, notices movement in trees a short distance away. Fascinated by this large animal, he decides to capture it on his camera. This black creature is truly massive, passing through the woods at a fast speed but walking calmly, not in a hurry. The reason for this is its size, allowing for big, leisurely steps. The person zooms out his camera 2 times, emphasizing the creature's truly massive appearance. You might have watched numerous Bigfoot sightings scattered all over the internet. Several footages are common. Some have been debunked, but a few remain undeniable. A person present in the woods comes across a massive creature walking in front of him. He decides to capture this moment on his camera. He turns on the camera and records Bigfoot walking. However, Bigfoot, perhaps noticing him, decides to hide behind the bushes. After remaining behind the bushes for a while, the creature decides to come back up. The man suddenly abruptly ends the video, which somewhat annoys me. If the footage is real, then I would have liked to see more, but I am reluctant to say this is the real deal. It does look a bit like a costume. Do you think I am wrong? Our world is filled with peculiar phenomena and undiscovered creatures, and a recent video captures one such mysterious sighting. In the footage, a trail path unfolds, and a bizarre, large, dog-like creature appears engaged in some mysterious activity. This creature has an unusually large body with unsettling proportions, featuring distinctive features like big ears and a long neck. According to the uploader, the creature remains seated for 15 to 20 minutes, seemingly just observing its surroundings without any apparent purpose. The rarity and weirdness of this sighting raise questions about whether this creature is a naturally occurring species, or if it could be linked to some kind of otherworldly summoning. What are your thoughts on this enigmatic encounter? Years ago, this clip was recorded and then later on uploaded on the internet. It showed 2 winged creatures flying high up in the clouds. If we don't zoom in and stabilize the video, we can say it could be just birds. But as we zoom into the clip, it becomes clear that those were not mere birds. Those looked like humans but with huge wings that were helping them fly. The clip is of just a few seconds, as after that, the creatures disappeared and were never seen again. Many people claimed that those could be nothing but angels. However, others had the opinion that the clip was edited and fake. To me, there is a big possibility that the clip has been altered, but considering the movement of the camera and the time it was recorded, it could be authentic as well. For more strange and interesting footage, check this out.